Hello, my name is Paul Robinson and I work for MSD, which is the pharmaceutical company who has sponsored the Patient Digital Healthcare Awards, PDHA, together with Allied for Startups and Healthware International Group. PDHA started in 2018 as an Italian strategic initiative to promote digital innovation in disease prevention and the patient journey. And following several successful editions in Italy, MSD, Allied for Startups and DHA launched the first European-wide version to recognise digital solutions that improve healthcare and importantly improve the quality of life of patients and their caregivers. All of our healthcare systems have been intensely tested by the COVID pandemic. And in fact, this has accelerated the development and the uptake of digital healthcare solutions, offering ways to maintain quality of care whilst maintaining contact with patients with the healthcare systems during these difficult times. And so in fact, what we've seen is an increased use of digital healthcare initiatives over the past few years, initially from teleconsultation, but through to mobile apps that people have on their mobile phones, electronic patient prescriptions, and data sharing, and many more. MSD is committed to ensuring that all patients across Europe have access to the healthcare that they need. And to spotlight digital healthcare as an important part of this, we have recruited a group of patient organizations, patient advocates, and digital entrepreneurs from Allied for Startups as our judges in this particular award ceremony. What's important to us is that we have the patients driving the innovation to make sure that what comes out of it meets their needs. And by connecting patients and innovators, we hope to make sure that the output benefits everybody and motivates policymakers to look into this area and close some of the gaps. For 2022, the applications were open to anybody from the European Union, European Free Trade Association, Balkan region, and the United Kingdom. And we've had 64 valid applications. And these applications have come from individuals, patient associations, healthcare professionals, scientific foundations and universities of one type or another, and startup companies. And we're really pleased with the level of engagement that we've seen with the ecosystem and the number of applications that we've received. So our awards ceremony today will begin with some talks from some of our judging panel who will explain to you their day-to-day challenges when we're working on behalf of patients and the importance of getting a diagnosis and getting treatment started. Next, we'll hear from some patients about how their disease affects their quality of life and how that could foster innovation to make their lives better. And then we'll also hear from one of our MSD leaders who I hope will give us some inspiring messages about how we can move this whole area of medicine forwards. So for this year, we've had 3 categories. The first category is about digital prevention and diagnosis, which includes mental health, which has been particularly important over the past few years, and social support. So these are applications that will help people manage their risk factors, prevent disease if possible, ensure an early diagnosis if not, and then to get the social support and the mental health support that they need as they become a patient effectively. The second category is how people can interact with their healthcare teams and providers, so encompassing models of sharing information, event management, the doctor-patient relationship and communication, which has been critical during these past few years. And then the third category is about how people can monitor the progress and hopefully slow the progress of their disease once they have a chronic condition, and how they can manage their day-to-day life so that their disease does not become their major focus. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the carousel of the judges who've been involved, and I'm really grateful for their time and effort that they've given us to help judge the applications that we've received. What we're going to do now is hear from 3 of our judges in slightly more detail to talk about what they do in their day-to-day life and how important digital technology is to them. So first of all, from Lydia Makarov, who's from the World Bladder Cancer Organization, who will be representing patient organizations who support patients, in this case with cancer. Then we'll hear from Mariano Vota, who works for Active Citizenship Network. And I think it's often easy to forget that before patients are patients, they are citizens, and that we all want good healthcare even before we become patients, and that's important. And then finally, we'll hear from Melissa Blaustein, who's from Ally for Startups, representing the digital entrepreneur side of this particular activity. So let's look forward to hearing from Lydia.
Hello, my name is Lydia Makaroff. I am the Chief Executive of Fight Bladder Cancer in the UK, and I am the President of the World Bladder Cancer Patient Coalition. The mission of the World Bladder Cancer Patient Coalition is to build community, raise awareness, and engage in advocacy. My function in the European Patient Digital Health Awards is one of the many international judging panel, which is comprised of European patient advocacy associations and patients. We're facing quite a few challenges at the moment. We're having some challenges in diagnosis. So bladder cancer, there's a lot of lack of awareness about the signs and symptoms of bladder cancer. And we just don't see people referring themselves to a GP or a family doctor as soon as they should. And even if they do mention their signs and symptoms to their GP, often they're not taken seriously, and that can mean a delay in receiving their diagnosis. Another challenge is in treatment. Sometimes it's difficult for people to log all the symptoms and the side effects of their treatment, and they have such a small amount of time to talk to their healthcare professionals that they need solutions to able to keep track of all of the challenges that they're facing during their treatment journey. Another challenge, which is related to the lack of time that they have with healthcare professionals, is they need another source of support. So they need to be connected to other patients and other people affected with their disease, so they can receive peer support, encouragement, and patient-centric information. More than merely an award, the European Patient Digital Health Awards initiative bolsters the vital role of healthcare innovation at the rapidly evolving intersection of technology and science for both patients and providers. And we see that the European Patient Digital Health Awards really addresses one of the major issues, which is the intersection between digital health and policy making. And one of the major challenges when we combine digital health and policy making is how do we encourage progress while ensuring privacy and also ensuring that the patient and patient organizations are at the center of these health solutions. We see so many different forms of digitalization. Apps for smartphones, telemedicine platforms, augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, wearables, digital transformations. We need to make sure when we're designing these solutions that we are designing them with the patient and their caregivers and their families in mind. We need to take into account their needs, their wants, and their priorities, protect their privacy while still trying to make their treatment journey better. And this is one of the wonderful aspects of the European Patient Digital Health Awards, is we're seeing so many innovative solutions from around Europe that have utilized the wisdom of patient organizations to develop new solutions for the future. Thank you for your time. I now give the floor to Mariano Botta.
Thanks, Lydia. And hello, everyone. My name is Mariano Botta, and I work for an NGO called Cittadinanza Attiva, founded in Italy more than 40 years ago to promote citizens' activism for the protection of citizens' rights, the care of common goods, and the protection and the support of people in condition of weakness. Since many years in my organization, I'm responsible of the European affairs and director of our European branch called Active Citizenship Network, committed at European level to contribute to better protect the patient's rights and their involvement in the policy making process. Well, now please let me congratulate with MSD for this initiative, very well supported by Digital Health Academy. Since the beginning, when this award was launched in Italy, my organization was involved in the jury, and I'm proud to be for the second year in a row as a jury member of the European Patient Digital Health Awards. In this role, I had the privilege to know more about the digital tools collected, and now more than ever, I'm strongly convinced that their potential is very huge, as well as that the European Patient Digital Health Awards represent per se a best practices and not only a successful, strategic and on-time initiative. Also for this reason, I've imagined how we can contribute to support it for the final benefit of the users, citizens, patients, healthcare professionals, and the healthcare system as a whole. It is true that the use of digital health solution is growing exponentially, also to better approach the side effect of the pandemic, which has triggered a huge acceleration in the uptake and implementation of digital tools. Some of them collected are extremely significant also because come from as personal, family, or professional concrete experience of those who have developed them. And according to me, this is a plus to be recognized. Talking in general, innovation in healthcare should not be and cannot be stopped. It can, however, be better oriented in the direction of what are the real needs of the final users, the patients, while fully respecting their rights. And in this, despite many experiences being extremely promising, I found an area of improvement. In several cases, the level of interaction with patient advocacy groups, we encourage the startups and in general the producers of a digital health solution to better invest in the stakeholder engaged strategy, involving patient and patient focus groups since the beginning when possible, also to better clarify who and how they should bear the burden to empower the final users of the digital health solutions, often a pending issue. Moreover, the collaboration with civic and patient organizations should help to create a widespread culture in line with the European health data space. Unfortunately, there are still complex obstacles that make it difficult to reach the full potential of digital health data. For this reason, we need to join efforts involving also the constituency created through the European Patient Digital Health Awards in order to push policymakers to make all those digital solutions that are fully respectful of patient rights as accessible as possible. The development of digital health solution also goes towards more resilient and sustainable healthcare systems. It is often stressed how important is the therapeutic adherence for patients and the risk about the not adherence. Many digital health solutions also supporting the interaction with the healthcare professionals can be a decisive support in this respect, especially for chronic patients. My final suggestion is now tailored for the promoters of this award, who should create a free and online repository for consultation to facilitate the exchange of information. At the same time, for the same reason, we encourage the DG Santé to include at least the best practices awarded by the European Patient Health Digital Awards in its European Commission Best Practical Portal, created to collect reliable information on implemented practices recognized as the best in the area of health promotion, disease prevention, and the management of, in general, non-communicable diseases. With the hope to support also in the next edition this initiative, now let me congratulate with the winners. All of you, together with the winners of the past edition, represent a community of managers of the digital health solution, an informal network that, if properly supported, can represent an added value of this initiative. And together with them, we can collaborate at European level in terms of innovative solutions, sustainability and resilience of national health system, development of the European health data space, fully respectful of the patient's right, to define together policy recommendation to be addressed to institutions and relevant stakeholders. We are ready to cooperate with you. Greetings from Rome. And now please let me introduce and invite to take the floor to Melissa Bluestein, CEO, Allied for Startups.
Hi, I'm Melissa Bluestein, CEO and founder of Allied for Startups. We are a global network of over 50 advocacy organizations working to improve the policy environment for startups to innovate and thrive. And that's why we're so thrilled to partner up for the second European edition of the Patient Digital Health Awards, a unique opportunity to highlight some of Europe's best digital health solutions, improving the health and quality of life of patients and caregivers. Innovators like you are the people who are going to change the way medical and health systems work in our world and in Europe. Following last year's successful first edition, we applaud the innovative mission to reward patient-focused innovation and allow startups in particular to gain visibility for their hard work making change in the digital health space. Health startups are so important because they're patient-centric by nature. You're making a difference in people's lives with the work you're doing every day. It runs in your DNA. As shown by the massive number of PDHA applications we saw this year, some of the most cutting-edge healthcare technologies are those being created by entrepreneurs like you that are central to the needs of patients everywhere. Healthcare innovation thrives from incorporating end-user feedback, redefining the patient role to an active and collaborative partner throughout the innovative process. The EUPDHA Awards are a catalyst for recognizing innovation from a patient perspective and celebrating the solutions that truly improve the quality of life for patients everywhere. In 2019 at Allied for Startups, we founded the DTX project to start to highlight and showcase health tech work and to give digital health startups a seat at the policy table and a platform to navigate regulation that affects them. We've been watching and following healthcare entrepreneurs like you have face-to-face, increasingly complex and fragmented health policy landscapes. All too often, digital health innovators invest time and resources having to navigate the complex bureaucratic policies that impact them. This, in turn, makes it harder for digital health solutions to reach their full potential. By building a stronger health union, we're asking policymakers everywhere to consider the startup perspective and to ensure that innovators feel empowered to bring transformative innovations like yours to the market. In order to tackle the increasing complexity and fragmentation of European health policy, our DTX network of incredible entrepreneurs across Europe works to bring startup needs to the forefront of policymaking. But there is still work to be done. And seeing the exciting number of multidisciplinary applications in this year's PDHA from entrepreneurs like you makes us want to keep hearing from even more across all corners of Europe. So even if you didn't win the award today, we really encourage you to reach out, get involved, be a part of this conversation on the digitization of healthcare, which is accelerating at an unprecedented rate. And in turn, we promise that we will continue to bring the voice of digital health startups to the policymaking process and to the table. We look forward to inviting the EUPDHA award winners to our annual DTX Congress here in Brussels, where we'll continue this conversation on important policy issues that impact healthcare startups like yours. Congratulations to all of the PDHA 2022 applicants, winners, and partners for their hard work and dedication. Thank you for choosing to take on such an important area of work, and thank you for being a part of this exciting partnership.
So I hope you enjoyed hearing from some of our judges and the work that they do on a day-to-day basis. Now let's hear from a couple of patient testimonials. Firstly, we're going to hear from Frederick de Bong, who has worked for many years in the diabetes area and has helped many patients with diabetes to manage their condition. And then we're going to hear from Marina Baruchovic. Marina has been affected by health conditions in the past, but she's turned these negatives into a positive force for good. And as her website says, that she sees a silver lining in all of these opportunities. So I look forward to hearing what they have to say.
Hi, my name is Frederick. I had the amazing opportunity to be a co-founder of one of the biggest digital health companies in Europe, MySugar. We created this company with a goal of making life simpler, making life with diabetes easier to handle. Now, I created it for selfish reasons because I have diabetes myself since 40 years, but it grew to be something more. It grew to be vital for millions of people around the world. Now, something I realized along this path is that what we build for day-to-day life, I cheated, right? Because I have diabetes myself. But the patient's life needs to be your focus. When we work with pharma and medtech partners, when we work with insurances, that's important, sure, because generally that's how we make money. But in the end, it's all about the patient. Never forget that. When you build a digital tool to help strengthen a therapy or help ease a therapy for a patient, you need to bear a few things in mind. One of the points is you need to enable the patient to be lazy. Honestly, that's what most of us want. Good outcomes, sure. But simply by being lazy, by working less, that's what we need to help them achieve. Now, at this first company I created in digital health, at MySugar, I was head of R&D, data science, risk management, and a heap of other things. There is so much coming together when you build an app or a digital service in medicine. It's simply mind-blowing. Now, something I believe is really important that I wish you take away from my experience is that when you work in this ecosystem, you always work with everyone 3-4 times. Your auditors, your patients, the pharma companies, the medtech companies, the health insurances. You will work with them for the whole life of your product and service. So see to it that you create a team which goes beyond the border of just your own little company. You need to work tightly with everyone. That's how healthcare works. So I hope my little advice is helpful for you now. But what it's all about today is to congratulate you as finalists and winners of the challenge. Amazing achievement. Well done. Now, use this momentum you have to accelerate everything you do to reach more people and have a bigger impact in their lives. Good luck and Godspeed.
My name is Marina Borkovic, and I'm the CEO and founder of Your Coach Health, the only operating system for behavior change powered by health coaches. My own patient journey started 8 years ago when at the age of 37, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Going through my journey, I did not want to be just a patient. I was so much more than that. I was a mom, a wife, a friend, an entrepreneur, a fitness junkie, a fighter. Doctors gave me my life back after a long battle with its ups and downs, and health coaching allows me to live this life on my own terms. As innovators, entrepreneurs, and researchers, you have a great responsibility, a responsibility to treat each patient as an individual, as we each follow our unique journey. To be able to tell us apart not only gives the patient a voice, but it also augments the important work you're doing. Technology has taken us far, finding the right biomarkers to enhance molecular therapies and treatments. And digital therapies are here to give patients a level of freedom, autonomy, and control. Let's continue listening to these voices and truly listening, even if what you're hearing does not fit your hypothesis. The patient is not just another number, but a person whose life, or maybe just a little piece of it, is in your hands. Congratulations to the incredible winners. I, for one, know that this is just the beginning and can't wait to see all that you will accomplish.
Dear sponsors, jury members, candidates. As a chronic entrepreneur in the health tech field, I commend your efforts, creativity, and innovative projects. My name is Roy, a serial health tech founder myself and a patient dealing with a severe chronic illness and disability called POTS syndrome that became quite prevalent after COVID. I'm also the founder of the Israeli Patient Society of POTS and Dysautonomia and the founder of several health charities. I spent almost a decade of my life in bed, in hospital beds, but not only spent my time between different beds, but also between cracks in healthcare, cracks you are trying to fill with your innovative ideas. I realized that our healthcare professionals are tired, overworked, and despite amazing available technologies, there is a huge gap in understanding the true needs of patients and to implement ways to ease the journey on both sides. I realized that as patients, we cannot sit and wait for our journey to become smoother, and we must bring our voice and ideas to lead true patient innovation that will turn to patient empowerment and maybe one day human empowerment across healthcare. And that's what I'm doing today, helping all stakeholders in the healthcare system to better understand each other, our needs as patients, and how we can create better healthcare for all. For you innovators, I will say, keep on fighting the good fight. You chose the hardest area to innovate in, but also one of the most important ones. Never forget to seek the patient voice in your products and solutions. We are not users, we are people. If you innovate for healthcare professionals, remember that any B2B solution in healthcare is also a B2B2C, and patients are always part of it. To the healthcare professional here, I would say thank you. We know you're overworked and under constant pressure, and that you are here to help. Never forget why you came to this amazing profession. And never forget to listen to your patients. Your answers usually lies there in their stories. To the decision makers, facilitators, and policymakers here, I will say, never forget why you are doing everything you are doing. It's for the patients. Help create true patient leaderships via installing patients in residence, patient officers, and patient leadership programs and groups. I congratulate both candidates and winner and hope to see you live next year.
Well, I certainly enjoyed hearing from the patients and how their lives have been affected by their disease and how they've turned this into a positive experience. So back to the agenda now, and let's hear from one of the MSD leaders. David Earnshaw is the Vice President of Policy for Europe, and I think policy is so important to make sure that innovations find a fertile ground to settle into and to blossom. So I'm looking forward to hearing what David has to say about the external policy environment that we need to look after and nurture as we bring these new innovations forwards. Over to you, David.
Hello, everyone. I'm David Earnshaw, and I run European Public Policy here at MSD. We are proud to support the European Patient Digital Health Awards. This is an outstanding initiative that shows how digital innovation and targeted solutions can help patients and their carers access quality healthcare solutions through digital health innovation. As Paul Robinson said, the European Patient Digital Health Awards project is a bridge. It's a bridge between patients and startups. It facilitates people's access to digital innovation, and it ensures that they can benefit from digital transformation. The European PDHA's DNA is to promote digital innovation in the disease prevention and treatment journey. More than merely an award, the European PDHA initiative bolsters the vital role of healthcare innovation at the rapidly evolving intersection of technology and science, and is directed at both patients and care providers, improving their health and their quality of life. As a leading healthcare company, MSD understands the importance of digital innovation. Digital innovation has revolutionized every aspect of life, changing how we live, disrupting existing business models, and reshaping the way information and services are accessed, delivered, and experienced. Societies across the globe continue to digitalize. The COVID-19 pandemic has further accelerated digital transformation, especially as it relates to healthcare and health services. Patients, providers, and health systems are increasingly demanding digital health solutions to help meet healthcare needs. Greater access to and demand for digital solutions across the globe creates opportunities to transform health systems. And digital technologies can help patients, their caregivers, and the healthcare community as a whole. They can also enable innovation in drug discovery and development. As digital transformation continues to redefine what's possible in healthcare, startups are at the forefront of delivering new approaches and technologies to the healthcare industry. Recently, MSD announced the launch of a digital sciences studio to help healthcare startups generate innovative technologies for drug discovery and development, with a specific focus on artificial intelligence and machine learning applications. This initiative will help startups in quickly bringing their innovations to market and ensuring that those that need them most can access them. As we're speaking about digital health and digital transformation, I think it's pertinent to say a few words about the recently proposed legislation creating a European health data space. The EHDS seeks to deliver on the full potential of digital health in Europe by improving European citizens' health through the power of data, by facilitating healthcare companies' research and development, as well as by encouraging the digital transformation of European healthcare systems. Ultimately, this proposal could also foster novel, people-centered digital healthcare solutions in Europe. Let me thank all the applicants who have responded to the call of application. This year, competition has been particularly fierce, with state-of-the-art digital solutions coming from across Europe. Thank you also to the jury panel members who've had the difficult task of making a choice among all the applications received. I know it has not been easy. And finally, I'd like to thank our partner in the European PDHA initiative, the Digital Health Academy, as well as Allied for Startups, for their continued engagement in digital health. I look forward to seeing you next year. And thank you for your attention. And now I'll pass the stage to the next speaker.
David, thank you very much for those words of wisdom. I think we always have to keep an eye on the external environment, the policy environment, if we want progress to be made. And so that's very important to us. And now let's move to the time of the evening when we actually get to the results, which is what you've all joined us to hear. We have 3 categories this year. We had 4 last year, but we've dropped one of those. So the 3 categories this year are firstly digital prevention and diagnostics, together with mental health and social support. So what do we mean by this? Well, this is for digital solutions, be they apps, software, wearables, etc., that look to, if possible, prevent disease. That's what we want to achieve. People leading a healthy lifestyle so that they don't become patients. And there's a whole role for digital solutions to maintain health rather than manage disease. We're looking at tools that will generate data that helps people understand whether they're at risk of disease, and if they are at risk, for early diagnosis. And again, it's about healthy behavior to reduce your chance of progression. And then if you do progress, can we find an early diagnosis? Because in many conditions, particularly in the cancer conditions, of course, an early diagnosis and early treatment can improve the outcomes hugely. We're looking at diagnostic tools to reach a diagnosis so that patients can then find their way to the right healthcare professionals to help with their condition. And we've also included in this capacity support for mental health and social support. And I think it's always too easy to forget the level of social support and counselling, mental health tools, just being able to speak to someone who understands the situation you're in to help you manage. The second category is all about communications. It's about new ways of interacting with your healthcare team and providers. Historically, it would have been lovely to see your doctor, your nurse, your practitioner face to face, but COVID has changed all of that. And so we're used to now interacting online with many of our healthcare providers. And what does that look like? Do we have a video consultation? Do we have the opportunity to provide information or photographs to our healthcare team, and they can come back to us with information? We're being invited to take part in group counselling sessions, healthy eating sessions, learning about your disease and learning about how to manage your disease. And so this two-way communication between us and our healthcare team is now virtual, it's online, it's in the ether, it's on demand. It's very different to how things used to be. So we're looking for solutions that make that better for everybody. And then the third category is about disease monitoring and therapeutic effects once you have a disease and you're on treatment. So how do you document how well your treatment is working, whether your disease is progressing and getting worse or better, and how you understand how you can interact with that, how you can affect that particular part of your disease, and communicate that with your healthcare team as well as self-help. So they're the 3 broad categories that we've got, and I'm delighted to be able to hand over now to the judges who are going to announce our winners.
Well, thank you so much for giving the floor to me, and greetings to all the audience. My name is Hal Skåra, and I'm from the association PHA Europe. And it's a great pleasure for me to introduce the winners. First category, digital prevention and diagnostics, mental health and social support. And here's some words from the winner.
It's a great honor to have been selected. This award represents a lot for us. People and patients are why we work. I'm Simona Roggero, the co-founder and CEO of Fidelio Medical. I'm a physician by training and an entrepreneur by DNA. My medical background put me in touch with the difficult lives of children and people suffering from blood diseases, such as congenital anemias. During this time, I became familiar with the frustration of people and families and medical doctors too, due to the lack of simple tools suitable for routine disease monitoring. I decided then to give my contribution to innovative technologies that could solve real problems in clinical practice. Over the last 10 years, I supported several medical companies as a medical consultant, and I've grown as an entrepreneur by working daily with experienced teams. I've learned that breakthrough technologies are not enough, but must become easy to use and affordable to make an impact in real-world settings. Patient support is essential for identifying needs and developing technology in the right way. Indeed, at Fidelio Medical, we use technology to make high-quality care for iron deficiency anemia available and affordable. Iron deficiency anemia is common for women, children, people with chronic diseases. The sooner the problem is identified, the smaller the complications will be. The primary care could be the first line where to start the fight against anemia. However, most people don't know they need iron until anemia and then severe anemia, blood transfusions, and hospitalizations. We are developing a digital platform around our first-in-kind multi-marker test to help doctors to diagnose iron deficiency anemia on the spot and on time. We empower physicians, we empower people. We spread the access to the diagnosis that all people deserve. We look forward to strategic partners and patient support to expand our activity and access to a broad international network of experts. Our mission is to change the management of iron deficiency, especially for women. My mission is to be a physician developing innovative technologies, always listening to what patients need to share.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for passing me the word. My name is Mihai Negrea, and I'm a member of the Young Coalition for Prevention and Vaccination, a pan-European organization that promotes vaccination and prevention for all preventable diseases. It is my great honor and pleasure to present to you the winner for the area of focus, new ways to interact with healthcare teams and providers.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure to be here today and to accept the European Patient Digital Health Award in the category New Ways to Interact with Healthcare Teams and Providers. I would like to thank MSD and Digital Health Academy for establishing this international strategic initiative and the jury members for the evaluation and recognition of our solution. I am Dardan Aslan, medical doctor, co-founder and CEO of Clinica Digitale. Clinica Digitale is one of the most innovative startups developed with partners in USA and Europe into an advanced digital healthcare platform. Its cutting-edge software offers faster, closer, and less expensive services to patients, regardless of the distance with their preferred physician or healthcare institution anywhere in the world. Built up carefully from the limits of the past and outlined as an integrated health system of the future, Clinica Digitale continues to be one of the most visionary, borderless, and cohesive health projects ever undertaken in this part of the world. The Clinica Digitale professional team, technology, and experience make our digital platform one of the most advanced in the telemedicine industry. We are particularly pleased to work with well-known partners and healthcare leaders on all continents. Our platform is part of the ongoing evolution in digital health. It is our goal to introduce a new approach and user habit to patients, to make it possible for our users to find a doctor at the touch of a button. Clinica Distale is contributing to the digital transformation of all levels of healthcare, primary, secondary, and tertiary, by introducing a new model of health system, integrated and digital. At the primary healthcare level, the personal doctor for each patient registers and opens the patient's electronic medical record, monitors the health status of his patients, and, if necessary, refers them for further consultation to specialist doctors. At the secondary healthcare level, national and international specialists from Europe and USA are available to patients referred from the personal doctor for online consultation at any time and for any disease. And finally, the tertiary healthcare level is offered by the world's most renowned clinical centers and hospitals. This is also the highest level of global healthcare, offered to patients referred from the personal doctor and specialists. We are also introducing a new personalized digital healthcare model named Your Health in Your Own Hands, with the patient at its center and the health data owned by the patient. Because the privacy and security of health data are so important, we are promoting the personal electronic medical record and the patient's right to own his health data. It is our belief that the patient should choose with whom he wants to share his health data. The personal electronic medical record is a digital version of patient's medical reports and treatment history. It enables the patient to have easy access and to be in charge of his health data and share with them with a doctor of their choice. Our platform enables a holistic approach to patient's health. The personal doctor provides care to the whole patient, considering mental and social factors rather than just the symptoms of the disease. By having easy access to the personal doctor, patients build a trusted personal relationship with their doctor through daily communication, shared decision-making, and patient education. Personal doctor follows patient healthcare status, diagnostics, and treatment. If needed, he can refer the patient to a specialist and, with the patient's consent, transfer his health data further. Dear colleagues, the world is changing fast. Innovations in technology, AI, and digitalization of health pushes us to think beyond borders and towards offering borderless solutions in healthcare. This award is an important recognition and will serve as motivation to continue our work in digital health transformation. We are happy to be part of this network and ready to work together. Thank you.
And finally, but not least, the third category, disease monitoring and therapeutics. And here's some words from the winner.
Hi everyone. On behalf of Beats Medical, I'm delighted to be here today to accept this award in disease monitoring and therapeutics. Thank you to the panel of judges for selecting our project and to the European Patient Digital Health Awards for recognising the work that we do. My name is Emma O'Brien and I'm the Marketing Manager at Beats Medical. It is an honour to accept this award on behalf of our entire team, who are all driven by our mission to put people with neurological conditions at the centre of their own care, giving them the tools that they need to manage their symptoms independently and with confidence. Beats Medical was founded by Ciara Clancy, our founder and CEO, who was working as a physiotherapist in a hospital at the time. Knowing the impact of these conditions on the lives of her patients, Ciara realised that they needed individually prescribed therapies every day and everywhere. It was for this reason that Ciara founded Beats Medical, with a goal to take clinically proven therapies based on allied health therapy approaches out of hospitals and into homes, individually prescribed through technology. Beats Medical have a proven track record of providing automated, objective assessments and individualized progressive therapies for a range of the most common symptoms of CNS and rare genetic conditions to users through engaging and immersive experiences. We do this through our Cobalt platform, our digital therapeutic smart platform that is unique and versatile and can rapidly deploy several solutions to provide real results for patients, insurers, pharma, and more. For patients, it means that we can deliver daily, accessible, and individualized treatment to address gross motor, fine motor, speech, and well-being using only a patient's smartphone device in their homes or everywhere. We tailor therapies from these treatment areas to suit each patient individually, but most importantly, these therapies are continuously adapted to suit their changing needs. Creating a customizable interface, the design can range from a simplified user experience to an immersive, themed deployment, promoting engagement and adherence for patients of all ages. Through this, we can empower patients to better manage their symptoms and increase their quality of life, with the potential to reduce consequences like falls. Some of the biggest achievements we've had in Beats Medical is the achievements of our users. We've had people walk the length of the UK from the top to the bottom using our technology, or being able to say their grandson's name using some of the speech therapies that work on the volume and clarity of speech. These are the things that mean the most to us and drive our team forward. What our users do when we give them the tools to take control is what inspires us every day. To achieve our vision, we need to make this incredible innovation accessible to all patients. Building long-term partnerships can quickly make our solutions accessible to more and more patients around the world. Once again, I'd really like to thank you for this award and for recognizing the work that we do to develop patient-focused solutions.
So there we have it. The winners have been announced. I'm absolutely delighted. All of the applications were absolutely wonderful. But the reality is there have to be some winners and some losers. So, so my congratulations. What I'm particularly delighted about is that the three areas address what I think are three big medical unmet needs. We've seen from Andrew in Ireland about how to help people with Parkinson's disease cope with their life at home with their medication. Parkinson's disease is a horrible condition, and allowing those patients independence, quality of life, the ability to titrate their medication, etc., I think is absolutely wonderful. We've heard from Dardano Aslani from Clinical Digital in Kosovo, looking at fatigue in multiple sclerosis. Again, I think fatigue is a symptom that has been underserved in the past, not very well understood in a number of conditions, and to make progress in helping patients with various conditions cope with fatigue, I think is really important, and my congratulations to him. And Simona Ruggiero from Fidelio Medical in Italy, again, another really important medical issue, iron deficiency in mothers, easily treated, but it needs to be spotted, it needs to be diagnosed, it needs to be managed if these mums and babies are going to do well. So I'm particularly delighted with the three therapy areas or disease areas that the winners come from. So all that remains now is for me to say a number of thank yous. Thank you so much to the judges who have given us their time, who have looked through nearly 70 applications, who have scored them, who have debated which is best and which is less good, and have come up with a very difficult decision of the results. Thank you so much to everyone who's been involved in the running of this program, the website, the handing out of applications to judges, etc. And finally, I look forward to next year. I hope we will be able to repeat the episode next year. We hopefully will be yet another year further on from COVID, and so then the environment will be different, the needs of patients will be different. But what's clear is that the need for digital innovation, digital entrepreneurship will not have gone away. If anything, it may have become more important. So I look forward to seeing you all next year with the next episode. In the meantime, goodbye and thank you.